Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am sharing my TBR for Thrillerathon, which I'm very excited to be co-hosting this August with Harriet from Harriet Rosie Reads and Nicole from A Beautiful Chaos of Books. It'll be running from the 19th to the 26th of August, so we've got that bank holiday weekend to hopefully squeeze in a bit more reading, because I don't know about you guys, but this TBR for me is pretty ambitious. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk you through the challenges and the books that I'm reading to cover them. We have got a 9 squared bingo board, which is really cool. And as we've all said in our announcement videos, we're very happy for people to double or triple up. And actually, I have got 4 books that I'm reading for the 9 challenges, so I'm definitely like doubling and tripling up. So I will run through the challenges and tell you what I'm reading, and hopefully if you're still building your TBR or if you need recommendations, it will help. So the first challenge is to read the oldest book on your TBR, the oldest thriller on your TBR. So for that I'll be listening to the audiobook of Pieces of Her by Karen Slaughter. This book follows a woman who has breakfast with her mum one day in a cafe in America. There is a shooting and her mum reacts in a way that shows she's clearly had some kind of police training, which her daughter was completely unaware of, and it goes from there. Don't know a lot more about the story, I don't want to know a lot more about the story, but all I know is it's Karen Slaughter. I've really enjoyed almost all of the books that I've read of hers. I know Harriet read it earlier in the year and said it was good, so I will check it out and see what's happening. I will put a warning though, Karen Slaughter is not for the faint-hearted, so if you're new to the genre, it might be best to steer clear of her because she is very graphic. But if you're used to reading that kind of thing, she's a real corker of a thriller writer, and I'm really excited to get into that book. The second challenge is an author you've read before, so I'm very excited to be reading In Bloom by CJ Skews. I will talk about Sweet Pea in a moment, which is the first book in the series. This is the second book. I think it's going to be a series, but this is the second book. I can't really tell you too much about the story of this because it's obviously the second book, but I'm very excited to be back with Rhiannon. She's a serial killer who also has a very normal life, and I also really love this cover. It's very cool, and yeah, I'm excited to see. I've heard very mixed things. Harriet read it and I think was quite underwhelmed and a little bit disappointed by it. Nicole read it and loved it and gave it 5 stars, so I'm very intrigued to see where I kind of fall on the spectrum. So yeah, that is my pick for an author I read before. The next challenge is thriller with a trope you love. I am going for Sleep by C.L. Taylor, which I will talk about more in depth in a moment. This has got the trope of being an enclosed space because it takes place in a hotel, and I love the kind of enclosed space trope, that kind of thing where the killer has to be one of the people you've already met but you don't know who it is. I really like the tension that brings, so yeah, I'm really excited to read this book. So the next challenge is the host's favourite thriller, so I will run through all of those. This is Nicole's, Sleep by C.L. Taylor. The tagline reads, 7 guests, 7 secrets, 1 killer, do you dare to sleep? Nicole read this earlier in the year because she was lucky enough to get an ARC, and she basically hasn't shut up about it since, so it was no surprise when she picked this for her host's favourite thriller, and I'm really excited to get into it. This arrived a couple of days ago, and I have to admit I'm really struggling not to pick it up because I just really want to read it. So that is what I'll be reading for that. That'll be my pick for my TBR. It's also obviously Nicole's host pick. For Harriet, she has chosen The Good Daughter by Karen Slaughter, which is also one of my favourite thrillers. I read this earlier in the year, I've talked about it loads, you're probably all sick of hearing about it. It basically follows a family 25 years beforehand, 28 years before the start of the book. They are attacked, the mother is killed, the 2 daughters are obviously left traumatised, as is the husband. This picks up 28 years later when there's a school shooting that one of the daughters witnesses, and it basically all goes from there. This is such amazing writing, it's so clever, and just, yeah, the twists and turns in this are awesome, and I would really recommend it. As I've already said, Karen Slaughter is not faint-hearted, but if you can handle it, this is a really good one, and I can see why Harriet picked it. And then for me, my host pick is Sweet Pea by CJ Skews, which is the first book before In Bloom, which I'm reading for Thrillerathon. So we follow Rhiannon, who has a very mundane, normal life. She's got an office job, she's got a little dog, she's got a boyfriend that she's really not in love with anymore, but they're just kind of living together, and she's also got a habit of killing people. I've said, again, I've spoken about this book loads. It is Bridget Jones meets American Psycho. It's funny, like inappropriately funny. A couple of times I laughed in this and then wondered if that was maybe a sign that maybe I'm a sociopath. I don't think I am. But it's just one of those, like, when you think, oh, I shouldn't have laughed at that. But she also, like, says the things that we're all thinking. So she makes little kill lists. Like, I think most of the chapters have got little kill list at the start of them of people that have annoyed her. So things like cutting her up at a roundabout or squashing her bread at the supermarket. And she just makes this list of like things she wants to do to people. It's really funny. It's pretty messed up. I think it's a good thriller for people that are new to the genre, which is one of the reasons why I picked it. I also picked it because it's kind of a bit different to the other two. These are quite intense thrillers. Well, I think Sleep is going to be intense from what Nicole said. Whereas this is a little bit different. It's, like I said, it's kind of humorous in places, even though it probably shouldn't be. And it's my favourite thriller that I've read this year for sure, so that is my host pick. Next challenge, and I'm starting to double up now, is your most anticipated thriller, and for me that is In Bloom by CJ Skews, just because I enjoyed Sweet Pea so much when I read it on honeymoon in May, so that is my pick for that. Then again, doubling up, the next challenge after that is newest thriller on your TBR, which is Sleep by C.L. Taylor, and then a new to you author again is Sleep, because I've never read a C.L. Taylor book before, so I'm very much looking forward to that. And then the 8th challenge is the shortest thriller on your TBR, which is a book that I haven't actually talked about yet, which is The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay. This is easily the shortest book out of all of these. How long are you? Yeah, it's 315 pages, so it's a lot smaller than the others, which are like quite chunky. So this I've had lots of people talking about, and I actually picked it up at random when I went to the book barn a while ago, and I saw it and I thought, oh, I've seen a few people talk about it, so let's give it a go. So I don't know masses about it. I think it's about a little girl who is camping in the woods in a cabin with her dads, and they're approached by a group of people who say that the end of the world has happened or is coming, and you've got to work out if the end of the world has happened or if these people are just crazy. And again, it's got that kind of enclosed setting that I really like, that trope that I enjoy, and yeah, it's been on my physical TBR for a little while. It's short. I thought I'd give it a go. And then the last prompt is actually my favourite of all of these prompts, which is the thriller with the creepiest cover. So I love this prompt, and it was Harriet's idea, I think, because I love creepy looking books, and also it's so subjective, so I'm really excited to see what you guys choose for this. And actually I think I've got two that could cover this off, because the cover for Sleep is really creepy. You've got like the building with just one light on, we've got birds in the background, the whole like colour palette is very creepy, so there's that one. But also this copy of The Cabin at the End of the World, like what is all of this coming down like roots out of the bottom of the cabin, and it just feels very eerie. So yeah, I think we'll maybe go with this because I've already used Sleep loads, so we'll go with this. This is my pick for the thriller with the creepiest cover. So that is my TBR, which I worked out is 1,520 pages, which is quite a lot to read in a week. It'll work out at 218 pages a day, which is definitely a challenge for me. I would probably, on a really good day, read about 180 pages normally, so I'm going to need to have my nose firmly in a book that week, although I am also working full-time and then going up to see my friend Steph over the weekend, so, you know, we'll see what we can do. But I am really excited to be hosting Thriller-thon, as I've already said in my announcement video. I'm excited to see what you guys choose. I'm excited to be interacting on Twitter and Instagram, and I really hope that you're going to join us, so please comment below, let me know what your picks are. If you filmed a TBR video, then please like link it below so I can see it, or tag on Bookstagram if you're doing it that way, or Twitter. I will put all the information for Thrillerathon in the description below, and I will see you very soon. I will be vlogging Thrillerathon as well, so that will be up as soon as I can after the end of Thrillerathon, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks guys, bye!